Alright, fellow hackers, let's dive back in and see what we can get away with today. So what does Sector 1 have for us here? We've got score, pull, debug, debomb, step, exchange? Maybe we can go for a score run here. Maybe. This is not a great start. We can hack for value. Okay. Unfortunately, hack taking 3 energy is kind of rough. Let's try to make up some more energy here. So we can score twice. And then get out. And what do we have here? Not a lot of energy. Kind of a bummer. Is there an exchange that we could take? There is an exchange. I pasted that wrong. Alright, so we want exchange. Our best take is, this gets us 4. If we take it up top, we get 5. Okay. We have one more siphon. 4, 8, 12. We can turn 12 credits to energy, gets us up to 13 energy, so we have another siphon that gets us 2 more energy. We get to score another time. And then we either want 2 or 6 cash. So maybe that's here. We do have to crash. It's a pretty good one, though. What does that leave us with? 15. Alright. 3 scores it is. And pretty low on resources. Sector 3 is probably the last sector that we want to use score in. So let's take a look at what we have access to. What's our best resource square? What's our best take? There's a whole bunch of different ways we can make 8 up top. And unfortunately, this whole row is, like, we already have the crash, right? We already have the score. We don't really care about show. And either of these is going to limit how many resources we get with them. Only taking 3 tiles instead of 4. So top row is looking something like that. We can get 8 up here. And bottom half looks like we max out at 8 on the bottom as well. 2, 4, yeah, like this is 7. This is also 8. So lots of 8s. Maybe we should go for some points. No, I think score is actually just our better way of getting points. So we'll take this. And take this. Lets us exchange. Exchange. And turn that into some score. Alright. So now we need to focus on our end game, although crash should be enough. Crash should be enough to get us out. Maybe something like something small, like a delay, would also help us get there. Delay, what else? I don't think we really need attack. Maybe calm. But for now, I think we just want to get enough resources that we can crash as much as we want. So what's our best takes? Maybe here for 9. Maybe there's something that we can pick up a couple of points. You know, like this is 7, but we get a few points with it. Might be enough. And there's a couple 3 tiles. Unfortunately, we can't get them off the same siphon. Let's see, that top one only ends up with 8. So that's not great. What about this one? That also hits us with 9. Okay. 9's fine. 2 9s. Or do we try to get a couple of points? What if we go for this 3 here? That's also 7. So we could take 9 and 9. Just get 18 resources. We could take 7 and 7 and get 6 points. They're 2 3s, which should be pretty easy to defend. I think that seems pretty reasonable. Alright, well, maybe that changes things. We could take either spot, either here or here. And let's see, 3, 6. I think this is also 6, right? Yeah. But either one is going to give us the hit point back. I think that probably makes sense, seeing that we're in Sector 4. We kind of just want to maintain our status, make sure we get through this. Seeing that we're lower on credits, we should take the cash. And then get out of here. Alright. I'm gonna crash to save the hit point. And then I think we take here. It's just a good amount of resources, gets us back some cash that we desperately needed. And do we take here? For 8? Do we go up 1 for 8 and a random amount of points? Okay, that worked out pretty well. Not too many, but a few enough that we didn't need to use another crash. Sector 5. Is there a possibility that we want to score? Kind of past the point where score is worth the resources that it takes. But if we keep at this rate, I think we just hit it once. I don't think it's gonna keep us from crashing in the end. We do need a crash here. I don't want to hit the crash here. Here we go. Maybe that was supposed to be our first play. I'd have to look back to see if there was a way that we could have gotten into that little tunnel from the start. Alright, so what do we want? Oh my gosh. Are we going to have to take another damage? Or do we crash? I think how about we crash? Because if there's something good underneath this warp, we get a lot of cash. Back up to 8. What's our next best take? Probably right here. And get out. Okay. This is an okay crash. One, two. I think we do have to hit the crash here. I guess we could have taken 1 damage. But it opened up this siphon. And that's a pretty good one for us. We're a little heavy on energy still, right? We don't really have anything to spend it on. We need to get out of here, is what we need. 3, 6, 9. We have enough to crash 3 times. Okay. Finally we get out. 65 points. I think we just keep the siphon and maybe we get a setup similar to this in the next round, where we can take a siphon right near the exit that ends up scoring us a bunch of points. And there's a 7. So right now I'm thinking we just end up siphoning here. We've got 3 crashes to make it across the board in a pretty straight shot, so that seems very doable. Is there... I mean, if we come around and get another siphon, we would have to... What? Like, if I want this 7, right? We could come all the way down here, siphon here, and then leave. But we would have to take this first step using what, like 1 crash maybe? Yeah, I think we just play it safe and take this siphon and run. That's the game plan. So we step up 1, take our first crash, take a second crash, and take a third crash. There we go. Siphon and get out of here. We're 72 points. Okay. I think that's a new personal best for 1 run. And, still getting the hang of this game in general. And one thing that I'm building towards, if you're a longtime player of 868 Hack, is the secret room. But, I just want to make sure that I'm understanding everything about the game, and maybe it's the wrong approach to leave off the secret room, but we will come around to it. I kind of just want to make sure I understand how all the progs work before I start looping in this additional step. So we're just gonna try to see what we can do for without it, and then we'll build up to it. But 72 is a new high for me. Happy to see it, and we'll come back and see what we can do in the next part of this run. Okay, let's dive back into this run we're on. 72 points on our first lap. Let's see what we can pull off this time. And what do we get in Sector 1? Step attack, weight delay, antivirus reduce. Okay, lots of goodies here. What do we want to take? Attack is great, but I don't know that I want to try to defend it from this spot. We're a little bit too vulnerable. We can get attacked on two sides. Not a ton of room behind us for things to spawn in. Especially because we would probably be taking it from here anyway. But being open on two sides is not great. We do have debug, but debug is not really going to help us with this layout. You know, there's only maybe like these two, maybe this one that we would be able to get a good debug on. So a little less enthused about trying to go for attack here. Step is okay. What else? Reduce. I mean, if we're going to take reduce, it should be Sector 1 to get the best use out of it. Delay. I like delay. And I like antivirus. So we have one damage dealer already. Antivirus would be our second. So maybe we could go for utility since we do have a way to deal damage already. The other thing I'm looking at is we have 10 energy because we're cyborg and no credits. So while we do have the debug, we do also need to make sure we get enough cash to use it. And with that in mind, thinking maybe we go for a resource pull. This gets us 8, but a lot of cash. Although this one is even more tempting because it's 11, and even though it's not as much cash, it's still 4 cash. This is 6. But of course, just having 11 resources is gonna do a lot for us in general. Okay, so those are our good points pulls. What about getting a prog? So we could take reduce down here with a measly 4 resources. I mean, I guess the thing about reduce is it's another one that wants cash. And cash is one thing that we're low on right now. Of course, antivirus also wants cash. So maybe it's delay. What if we use our other siphon here? It's 7 resources and delay, and then we do these 2. I think that's a reasonable take. So what do we say here and here? Let's go for it. All right, not too bad. We only took 1 hit out of that. Grab this one, and yeah, look at those totals. We've got 6 credits, but we're up to 22 energy. This would be another great spot to have copy a score. You know, if we got to score 4 times here, that would have been pretty nuts. All right, what do we get now? Exchange, undo, step, and poly. Oh, there's a show down in the bottom as well. If we step back, I think we take a damage either way, so we just go for it. Rip that band-aid off. Okay, get a siphon, grab our other siphon. How do we deal with you? We take a step back. Alright. And we can step back. Forward, back. Gets it done. Alright. Is there a possibility that we want to take show? I mean, show doesn't really do anything for us. I'm really more interested in the fact that we can get 6, 7 cash at one go. I guess this would be a siphon that we could take as well. Step is at least something that I like to have. But depending on what this is, maybe it's a little bit too hard to fight off. Even though we do still get that 7 cash. Trying to get one of those 3s. This one, 3, still gets us a good amount of cash. Where else? There's actually a number of spots where we can get good cash. This one, although they do overlap here, gets us 7 resources. We do have to fight back 5, but you know, we've got a good choke point here. And we do have debug to help protect the choke point. Keep anything from coming down on us too fast through the walls here. This one for 2 and 8 resources. Yeah, I think I like those. I feel pretty good about those two. The 2 pinks. So we'll go here. And let me clean this up real quick. I will take the debug here to save the damage. And 1, 2, 1, 2. Beautiful. All right. Big stack of resources. 14 credits, 26 energy. Okay. So, how do we spend this energy? Well, let's get rid of this guy. We're 3 steps away. We step into it. Row reset warp random. We could... I think we can go for some points here. There's no great siphon for this 6, right? Like, this only gets us 5. If we take from here or here, we also end up... We're going to have to fight off 11. So, and that's also only 5 resources and 5 resources. Not crazy about either of those. Reset? I don't really care about reset. I don't really care about row, but this is good cash. I think it's our best cash pull. 7 resources with it. I guess this one's okay. Gets a 7. We don't get the row, but again, I'm not really all that interested in the row. If we just want resources, it would be these 2, 7 and 8. If we want a prog, I don't really want any of these progs. I mean, I guess the random one, but it only comes with 4 resources, so not really wild about that either. And I think we can, yeah, there we go. Do we take row just to get it? Just to have something? Kind of, almost seems like a waste to take 7 when we could take 7 and a prog. It's only 3 summons, we're at full hit points. Maybe row does something for us. You know, it's not impossible for row to have a use. It's just expensive. You know, row, best case scenario, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hits, because Row only does 1 damage. So we spend 4 for 5 damage, and the average enemy has 2.25 hit points. So that's like 2 kills. So we spend 4 resources on 2 kills. The absolute best case scenario, 4 resources on 2 kills. So that's 2 per, and like that's kind of our floor. If we're paying more than 2 resources per kill, I'm not really interested in it. Or at least, it has to be something that has better upside. Like, I don't mind paying 2 per kill on a Crash, because Crash can get better. Crash can get much better. Row does also slow. You get that 1 turn delay. So, like I said, it's not terrible, but I don't think we're gonna get a ton of use out of it here. All right, Sector 4. A little low on points. We've only got 7 points so far. This is a pretty good point sector, though. Looking at the bottom here, these 2 7s. Now, I don't think we'll take both, but if we take this one, we've got a real nice choke point, and we still have debug. So anybody who's trying to come through here, we've got the debug for them. And then anyone who's just trying to go the long way, we've got all this lead up. So I feel like that is a pretty safe 7 to take. And it's not bad resources either. We get 7 resources with it. We could also take some resources here. 10's pretty good. Also potentially this one. It's slightly less at 8, but I do think we could pull off defending the 6 here. What else? There's attack. Maybe we want to try for attack to get us to the end game. We definitely have enough resources built up that we can immediately fire off the attack. And we get 7 with it. If we do that first, it's going to make the 7 at the bottom even easier to defend. Or maybe we take the 6 at that point. I don't know, but I think this is where it turns. I think we're going to get some good points here. I think we just have to spend. And then, since we're already in the corner, do we just want... I think we go for the attack first. Okay. Hit the attack. Clear off this. 1, 2, 1. Ah. Okay. In that case, I will just take the resources. We could have fought for some points, but I'm going to play a little conservative since we're down a hit point. And I don't love our positioning here. I think we'll take a delay. 1, 2, 3. Do we want to... We get 1 more kill for free here, and then we just have to deal with 3, so that's fine. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. What do we do from here? Do we fight for the 8? I think we can pull it off. And we'll just use delay. And maybe we do need the attack. We're gonna get hit here no matter what, aren't we? Okay, so we should just look for some resources. Maybe we take a heal. There's some good resources at the exit. Fuck me. I just did that, didn't I? I killed me. Okay. There's no way out. There's no way out. Fuck. Oh, bummer. Okay. Well, you know, sometimes they end like that. I think we could have stepped the other direction. And because I think we ended up locking ourselves into a corner there instead of taking the move that was maybe slightly more open. I'll have to go back and check. That's a bummer because we were ready to heal for one and then move on to the next sector. I think we would have been in fine shape. But, you know, sometimes they end. Every run's got to end at some point. All right, well, we'll see you next time.